Yeah, like look how cautious I was telling how to negotiate, because I could see his problem. As soon as the other lawyer tells him something, he immediately responds. Yeah, pero no, pero esto, pero pague. It's like, repeat what he said to you. He's gonna know you're acknowledging him. This is so powerful, so important. My wife says, you know, it's really getting late and we want to eat and you don't feel like you're hungry. Okay, so it's getting late, I'm delaying everybody, I'm not hungry, but you know, maybe I can eat. I'm repeating, she doesn't even notice it. She's calming down. Repeating, rephrasing, saying to her what she's trying to tell me. Sometimes she's not saying it exactly, but I can see the tension where it's going, you know? And if you can't, if it's too long, just the last few words. Because this is ridiculous, because it's getting late. Oh, it's getting late. Yes, we should eat. See my point? That's it. Because I'm going to say, instead of like, I'm sorry, okay, let's eat. What did I do? Just created an atmosphere of hell at home. And what do kids feel like? Oh my gosh, what's going on? And believe me, it's easier said than done, huh? Hello, Cherif, Medawar here. I'm very excited to share with you the Commercial Real Estate Roundtable. What we've done is we've gone around the country, mainly in the big cities in California, and I've done an event called the Commercial Real Estate Roundtable event. I had people sit in round tables, and each table had a different type of commercial property. Warehouses, apartment buildings, storage facilities, hotels and motels, land development table, retail and strip centers table, office and medical building table, senior living, assisted living table, manufactured homes table, parking garages, gas stations, and even a table for what you call eco-friendly buildings. 12 tables, and each table had about 4 or 5 students. When I call them students, some of them are expert brokers, some are developers, some actually are real estate investors, attorneys, and novice people from all walks of life. And what I actually worked with the students on is what's called the fact system. How to, every table, I tell them, here is how I want you to work on, first of all, the F for the fact system, which is really the method I developed in the early 2000s for people to know what to do in sequence. I tell them, first of all, I want you to learn how to find the property for the table you're sitting, at which you're sitting. So those are sitting at the apartment buildings, they're gonna search for apartment buildings. For those sitting for hotels, motels, they're gonna look for hotels for sale, office buildings for sales, etc. They're gonna actually find the best deals in the market. And they're gonna find the websites for what's for sale by government, what's for sale by owner, what's foreclosures. What is just fascinating what people find, and each table designates one person to write it on a flip chart, the websites, the top 10 websites for the best possible deals. And then each person, when everybody, I give them enough time to search individually, then they brainstorm as a group, and then guess what they do? They get together and write, here are the best 10 websites we found as a group. And then they write it on the website. So imagine now we have 12 tables and everybody had written this, and they designate one person to stand up and say, hi, I'm Susie, I'm with the apartment building website. And we are now working on the fact system, how to find the best deals. I found this website for foreclosures by banks. I found this website for foreclosure by government. I found this websites for properties for sale by apartment buildings for sale by these brokerage firms. I found this website. And now this person stands there and tells the entire audience how to find the best apartment building deals. And the next one stands up and says the same thing for warehouses. And next one says about the same thing for mobile home parks. You got the idea. So finding the best deals. Then I have them search how to find tenants. So they have to actually search the best websites, and again by table, they search individually, write down the websites, brainstorm as a group, then they decide what are the top 10 to 12 websites to find tenants. So if you have an apartment building, where do you find tenants? Where do you advertise to get tenants? And that's how we do it. Hotels, how do you get hotel guests? How do you actually increase that? Who do you work with? AAA, travel agencies, government program, corporate people to come to the hotel, etc., etc. You have a storage facility. How do you get customers? And we show you. We share the websites. Every student, they do this, and I work with the students. I go around, and when they present, at the end of each presentation, I give them my key points, because I've done this, I've done these different type of commercial properties. Extremely powerful, extremely beneficial. Then we move into the analysis part in the fact system, the A, how to analyze the actual deals. How do you analyze the actual numbers on the property, and how do you analyze the actual market? So what is the numbers you're looking for? And each group has to brainstorm based on formulas that I share with them, and they have to stand up and they say, here are where the numbers are right now in the country. You can buy an apartment building for this. You can buy, this is what you expect in terms of returns. And I explain to the whole audience how to work what's called cap rates, which is the capitalization rate. If you have a capital of $1 million, what should you expect if you invest in assisted living facilities versus mobile home parks versus garages? How many people do you know that teach garages? How to find them, how to get the proper people to park there, how to actually work the numbers on garages, how do they work, and then how do you understand the market for that particular property? You have a hotel. You know the numbers for the hotel, the occupancy percentage, the average daily rate, etc. How about how the hotel is doing in that market? How would you like to learn how to analyze the actual extrinsic value, not just intrinsic value of the property? Well, how's it doing in the market itself? Hotel is running at 87% occupancy, and you're like, wow, that's great. Well, let's look at the market. Everybody else is running at 92% occupancy. Your hotel is running at $220 ADR, but the other hotels are running at $229 ADR. See, it's just not just the internal and intrinsic numbers, but the extrinsic numbers, what's happening in that market. We'll show you how to do that, and each group presents. So everybody simultaneously is learning all these different types, and they see the common denominators, and they see the principles behind investing in commercial real estate. Next thing is the C. How do you control the deal? How do you control a transaction? In two ways. How do you negotiate it to create a win-win creatively? This is not through a broker that sends you an offer and you did on DocuSign and all this. In reality, commercial real estate is all about meeting, having the actual negotiation going. I give you this, you give me that. How about if I have more time? What if I do a lease with option? What if I do an actual option only? What if I actually structure it this way? What if you carry a note? All this creative negotiation. I can take a deal that's worth, I just bought a package of 2 properties, 5.1 million. Just one of them, the upstairs, when I'm done, is going to be worth $12 million. Just upstairs. I'll show you how I actually negotiate this. People come to my trainings. I actually take them, and when we do the private trainings, I take them to see the buildings I have and how I did it. But I want you to learn the principles behind how to negotiate a win-win. How just by merely listening to that person and what they tell you, whether it's the broker or the seller, you can actually find the answer in what they're telling you. Okay, negotiation, and then the next thing about controlling is the paperwork. How do you write it? How do you write it? What's the difference between a wraparound mortgage and a lease with an option? Which is better? Do you understand the difference? I'll show you how a huge difference. I got a hotel, put it under contract with a lease with an option to buy. It was way better than doing a wraparound. And I had 6 months to do it. In 6 months, I changed the numbers on the whole thing and closed the deal. Why? I found a good deal. I learned how to actually increase the guest numbers of the hotel. I knew the numbers currently. I knew the market potential. I knew how to negotiate win-win. They got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And I was able to do the paperwork the right way. And when I sat with the attorney said, what do you want to do? You can tell the attorney, give me a good deal. The attorney said, what did you negotiate? What did you do? You're listening? Good. Find, analyze, control. And now the T is for time. The idea is to time the process of what? Time the process of the due diligence. This due diligence now is the numbers that you thought are going to happen with the market. You want to get the due diligence done. Meaning you're going to hire an inspection company. You're buying an apartment building. There are some companies that specialize in inspecting apartment buildings. They go each and every apartment, and they can tell you either in vague numbers, this is what's happening, this is the value, this is what we see. the carpet, etc. And some companies can do it in details, depends on what you ask. Carpet is old, it will require changing, it's going to cost you so much. The due diligence, maybe you want to inspect the roof, you inspect the plumbing. I was meeting somebody who's doing syndications. He wanted to save barely $7,000–8,000 for some plumbing inspections around the building. Big building is a big syndicator. He wanted to save that $8,000. After he closed, he found out the reason they sold the building to him is they were having some plumbing issues. When he dug deeper into it, because people were leaving the building, they were asking to break their contracts and move on because they couldn't get hot water, etc. He found out he had problems all under the actual ground for the plumbing. It cost them $700,000. Syndicator. Because he didn't know how to do the proper due diligence. We show you in that training, when you sit in round tables, what companies will help you with the due diligence? What do you need to do? I even give you what I call the 100 key point checklist. It turned out to be 100. I came up to 98. I ended up 2 more points. I said, how about these 2? And we'll make it a nice 100. And guess what? That's how I buy my buildings. I follow my own 100 key point checklist. What else do you time? You time the process of the financing. How are you going to do this? All cash? It's going to be creative financing? It's going to be an actual syndication? You're raising capital? We do a full training on syndication. We do a full training. I take people and I show them how to become fund managers, how to raise capital for deals like this. And you will talk to your investors about this and they will say, this person is knowledgeable, I understand her or I understand him, I want to invest with them. That's how you raise capital. It's one of the ways to raise capital. So you have to know what you're doing. Or you're going to just get a normal loan from a bank. So the due diligence, and you're going to time the financing to actually close. Once you close, now you're at the final S, which is to strategize. That's where the big money is. You're going to strategize for 2 things. To get the best possible management company. Don't get entangled into managing properties. You're actually buying these properties to make them better. So the second most important thing on strategizing is taking the property to its highest and best use. In the commercial real estate roundtable, I have everybody in that table brainstorm on how to increase the value of properties from 2 ways. From the business itself. So you're running a warehouse, how do you improve it? You're running a storage facility, how do you improve the business there? Hotel, how do you improve the business? Apartment building, what do you do to improve the business? And the other thing is how to take it to its highest and best use for the building. What do I do to the building? What do I do to the actual building to improve it? I take the units and I furnish them, now make them Airbnb. I take that hotel and put antennas on top. I take this gas station and put signage and a billboard. What do I do to take the business to the next level, the building to the next level, and next thing you know, this is what you're working on, finding the best deals. Everything is automated for you, and you're taking them to the highest and best use, and then you decide, do I want to refinance it, cash out my money, and have infinite rates of return on endless streams of income? Or do I want to flip them and do 1031 exchanges into other deals? Or do I want to just cash out and pay my investors? What do you want to do to make millions, not play small game? The Commercial Real Estate Roundtable event is an event that I've done around the country. And then what I've done is I've taken the best of all the presentations, the best websites, and we created an online training for you where you can actually enroll and you can choose one of these different types of commercial properties. And you say, I'm going to immerse myself into hospitality, hotels and motels. I'm going to learn how to find the best deals. I'm going to learn how to analyze them. I'm going to learn how to control them. I'm going to learn how to time the process. I'm going to learn how to strategize to take them to the highest and best use. You know, I have a hotel deal. I was doing it right now. And today, no joke, today, I found out the government here is going to give me tax credit of 20% if I turn the project into a timeshare. The project goes up, it's a small deal, by $7.5 million in net pure profit just by changing one thing on the application with the tourism office. Instead of just a normal hotel, it will be a hotel and timeshare. Just imagine that. One little change, same building, same effort, same team, everything. We net an extra $7.5 million on the deal. Phenomenal once you know what you're doing. And I have that whole training. We've taken it the best of each type and we put it and we show you a training online, and as you do each part, you have to pass a test, so you know it, you understand it, and you can apply it. And those who want this, you can choose a specific type of property, or you can have the whole package and study it, and you'll become a master in commercial real estate. I've had brokers who have been in the business for many, many years. You will see some success stories. I've had developers that say, oh my gosh, I'm just totally changed with this training. It has opened my eyes. For once I was blind, and now I can see. And I'll tell you something, those who want to do this, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You pass each part, you pass the test, you go to the next stage. So you pass the test on how to find these, let's say, for mobile home parks, manufactured homes. Then you go to the part on how to get the tenants that actually will occupy the manufactured homes. And then you're gonna actually learn how to analyze the numbers, what websites, what companies, how do you do it, what numbers you need to look at. And as you finish step by step by step, by the time you finish that training, which will take you about 12 hours, intensive if you really understand everything, because I start by, first of all, defining the words, then explaining to you the concept behind each type of property and what we're doing. Then I give you the business model, which is the sequential step, 1, 2, 3, what to do, and then show you how to take action to succeed. It's called the DBCA system, the DCBA system. How to define the words, understand the concept, know the business model, take action to succeed. And you do this, you become a master of the game, you go and apply, and you build a network, and you go to a different level completely. And then you can become a syndicator, you can raise capital, take your game to another level. And if you want a shortcut, you can even become a co-sponsor with me, where I show you how I've done this, how I've mastered it, and how I share it with others to grow with them, so we can all have a bigger game and a bigger pie. Thank you for listening. I look forward to you having this and giving me feedback and listening to your own success story.